I am DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. What's up, Supreme Team? Come on in. Welcome to the channel. Come on in, okay? Hey. I was rooting for the family before CS began going live. Yeah, so I put a poll at the top of the chat. I hope everybody takes it, okay? Because we got to talk, all right? That's my New York accent. We got to talk, okay? Come on in, everyone. Anyone that you see with a purple wrench behind their name, they are volunteering their time this afternoon to be with me and you, okay? What's up, Cheryl the Pearl? What is up, Linda Gamble? What is up, Cookie from the Shy? I appreciate all of you for coming in because we got some stuff to talk about, y'all. The internet is divided. Content creators are going crazy as you know what, okay? And some of the subscribers too. I know some of these content creators are sending subscribers, okay, to do their dirty work, baby. But I am here to tell you, absolutely not. What's up, Lady D Key? Keys with an S. Yeah, there's just all this dumb stuff going on as usual. And we are going to talk about some things. Y'all see it on the screen, though, Martell and Marsau, because y'all, so much has been dropping over the last couple of weeks by way of the television show, Love and Marriage Huntsville. Also by way of these audios, this audio tape that Anthony Lofty's has on his channel, after I guess some long discussions with Martell's baby mama, Arion Curry. So come in because we need to catch up and talk about it. I have 206 of you here in the chat or watching right now. So make sure that you guys all hit my like button, please, and thank you. I do also ask, this is my thing, for you to drop your city, your state, your country, your island, so that I can give you a shout out, okay? What's up, Kimber? Welcome. So if you want to do that, I will say hello to you guys real quick that way. All right. Let me put my face on the screen. What up, y'all? What up? I hope everybody's doing good on this Tuesday. What's up, Fort Lauderdale? I wanted to come on yesterday, but I went to the dentist, and now I have some work that I got to do over at the dental office. So for the next couple of months, I'm hoping that my face and everything looks okay, child. I might not be able to come on camera, but we will see. They told me it wouldn't be that big of a deal and that everything will play out the way it's supposed to. But you know what I'm saying? You just got to keep your fingers crossed, child, and pray. But come in, everybody. I see y'all. I see it climbing up on the scroll. I see Nashville. What's up? Detroit. I see Fort Lauderdale. What's up? I see the Shy, or she's saying hello to Cookie from the Shy, my bad. But we know Cookie's from the Shy. The Lou, St. Louis is in the house. Milwaukee, Palm Beach, Columbus, Fayetteville, Georgia. What's up, Columbus, Georgia? What's up? New York is in the house. What's up? Maryland is in the house. What's up? West Virginia, come on in. Indianapolis, what's up? I love seeing where you guys are coming from. What's up, Tennessee? What's up, Vegas? What's up, Philly? What's up, Delaware? I got Dallas, Texas in the house. Delaware again. Come on in. JCNJ, come on in. Let's see. Jersey City, New Jersey. What's up from Houston? What's up? Piano, Texas. Don't come back looking like the Elephant Man. I know that's right. Miss Jane, listen. I had to have a whole lot of chit chat. I was like, listen, I just want to make sure that what you're telling me is true. You know what I'm saying? They had all these famous people on the wall, like, listen, we have all of these people we're really good at this. I said, okay, baby. Okay, I'm going to roll the dice. I did do my research, though. I did do a lot of research before I chose a dentist. I did not pick Dr. Heavenly. Not that there's anything wrong with Dr. Heavenly, but I did not choose Dr. Heavenly's office. What's up, Louisiana? What's up, California, Long Beach? Look, I am wearing Oakland, California. Black Panther Party is my shirt today. My dad was raised in California. There's just a little bit more about me, child, just in case y'all was curious. Come on in. Screaming from Atlanta by way of the Shy. What's up? What's up? What's up, Michigan? Anyways, you guys. So listen, we got to get back on track on my page. Oh my goodness. Yesterday, I realized that the sun or the moon was in Cancer, child. And y'all know Cancer is the sign of petty folk, okay? And I say that because I know, okay? It's a sign of the petty. Y'all know Curtis over there, what's his name? 50 Cent and all them. Child. Anyway, some of y'all was leaving some of the pettiest ass messages on my page. Oh my goodness. I actually said in the last video I did on Sunday night, I believe, I said I read an excerpt from a book a couple of months ago. And one of y'all decided to get on your troll page, come over to my shit with one comment only, talking about fact check. You didn't read the book because the book came out on December 24th, 2024. And I'm like, yeah, let me just make sure I didn't say something wrong because I'm confused as hell. So I go and I listen to it. She put the timestamp on it. I went and listened and I said, I read an excerpt. And I was like, okay. So I go back and I'm like, okay, fact check, you know what I'm saying? Go back and listen again. I didn't say I read the book. I said I read an excerpt. The lady comes back, edits the comment, gets all big and bold. You didn't read the book. The book came out on this day. Listen, all you have to do is Google. Excerpt. Google what an excerpt is before you start stumping the pavement at 3 or 4 in the morning. Who does that? Oh my goodness. So if you are listening, please go Google excerpt. I'm not going to put this on everybody because it really is, I think, like a 4th, maybe 5th grade word. Sometimes you see shit, you don't know what it is. I don't know, but damn. Don't go dying in the comments thinking you got one on me, bitch. If I said something wrong, I'll be the first to be like, I said it wrong. But child, that was wonky. That's number one. What else happened yesterday in the comments? Because when I tell y'all, people were literally coming over and dying in those comments about Tisha and Marsau. Oh, I did a photo, the picture I did on my thumbnail, baby. Someone said, why didn't you use the picture that Tisha had in the live? Why would you use a different picture? And then she said, this channel is showing favoritism to the Scotts. I had no idea. So here's the other thing I want to share with y'all. Number one, the pictures in the thumbnail is supposed to draw your attention to my video. If I put a donkey's ass in the picture, it is what it is. I'm trying to get as many people to watch the video. Even though people like to use the words clicks and views, this is a job. I don't give a shit what anybody tells you. I don't care what social media movement or justice movement they're lying about. If they don't show a button at the end somewhere in their text that says every dollar made from this video is going to charity, that shit is going to their bank account. Okay? Trust and believe. They are lying to y'all with every tooth and tongue in their mouth. You guys sometimes believe that dumb shit, and then you come over here and die on the vine. Get from off of my page with the goofy. Okay? I got time today too. Period. I understand, Cookie. I get it. Sorry about that. Pay them no mind. They are idiots, child. I agree 1,000. But today I got a little bit of time. All right. Now, I follow the show. I review the show. I don't hate any of them people on the show because they ain't done shit to me ever. I try to use a mind. When people say use your discernment, be a rational thinker. Well, when I put that into play, okay, I say all of those people that's on this show voluntarily signed contracts. Nobody has come out and told us that anybody put a pow to anybody's head in order to do this fucking show. Never. Sometimes people take it way too far, the things they say and the things they do. I get it. We have favorites, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the way you stump the yard, like this is some sort of MLK movement, you on your way to Selma, it is too much. Those people drive nice cars, live in nice homes, building nice homes, trying to figure out how to get their kids to college and all the things, just like me. And all of you, I'm assuming, your grandkids, whomever. Some of the lengths you guys take to come into people's comments and drop some of the dumbest stuff I have ever seen. Cough up all the fur that you got sucking on them people's asses and twats and who knows what else, and knit yourself a sweater. Do something constructive with your time, please. And stop coming over here with the bullshit. If I see something I don't like, I'm going to say it. If I see something I like, I'm going to say it. I don't have to lie and contort the truth to make you feel better about whoever it is. Like, seeing a picture of Tisha should not get you in your feelings. Oh my God, you must like Tisha. Bitch, ain't nothing wrong with Tisha. She's an attractive woman. Everybody on that show, all the females are attractive. There's no reason for you to fucking have a heart attack at 3 a.m. because you saw my thumbnail. Absolutely none. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. I don't want to fool anybody else for any reason. I review the show. I talk about them all. When something new comes up, I take information in and I see how it fits to the shit I've been saying. And if it don't fit, I'm going to let you know about it like I am today. Because like in real life, not everything fits the way it's supposed to fit. Sometimes we get some shit that we think is one thing and it turns out to be a completely different thing. Okay. And I don't even know if they're a millimeter or not, because I don't even care. And that's straight up. I don't care. Whatever your mama and daddy called you or whoever named you in your life, that's who you are first. Okay. All this batting to be a millimeter, who gives a shit? You're going to get cussed out no matter who you are at this point, because you got to be smarter than that. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about people who come onto people's channels acting a fool, just literally crashing out in the name of Mr. Woot Woot, crashing out in people's comments for no reason. That's just crazy. Please cut it out. Just be grown. I mean, geez Louise. Now, I'm ready to go. 577 of you are here. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me, for being here today. Listen, I am here to talk so we can all be on the same page and catch this shit up. Thank you, Peggy. This is my channel. I can say what I want to say, do what I want to do. But just in case somebody feel like they, got some shit to say, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to let you know I don't give two fucks. I understand yesterday, like I said, that I believe the moon entered Cancer. And so a lot of people are getting their petty out, and I'm going to meet you where you at. But I'm going to start with read a book. I've said that before. Read, exercise the brain so that you can hear what you're supposed to hear and think about things. Because on my channel, I like to process and think. That's just how I was raised. I've told y'all that so many times. I used to have to sit at 6 o'clock with my grandparents and watch the news I was a child, and they would talk about what was going on in the city and in our community. That was how we were told to learn about some shit, break things down, learn how to rationalize things, learn how to see when a lie is a lie. Remember, if I'm not mistaken, Melody just said the other day that she was having that prayer so she can, she said discernment was a muscle that needed to be practiced. Same shit. We practicing the discernment muscle over here. Okay? If it don't fit, keep going. Okay? There's other channels. There's other channels that will tell you what you want to hear, baby. Okay? All right. Now let's roll. Look, I did this cute little thumbnail. Who has a problem with it? Let me know right now. Who has a problem with Marsau and Martell? Okay? That's not the picture. Anybody about to crash out in these comments over those two? Good. Good. Okay. Now listen, I had y'all do a poll. Hopefully y'all took it. I'm going to check it out in a second. Asking what your feelings were, because we got to get on the same page about Martell in regards to who this man is and how he may have pulled the wool over all of our eyes, okay? And it might take some time, child. It might take some time, but we got to get there. We got to get there, because right now, everybody is crashing out. Again, Mr. Woot Woot, I'll never buy a shirt, but I'll say it. I'll use the terminology. You were the first person I ever heard say that shit. But outside of that, no, I'm not buying anything. But anyway, let's start from the beginning with Martell and Marsau, because damn, y'all, my eyes, not my eyes, they're woolen free. Yes, he's pulled the wool over all of our eyes to a degree. And now we need to catch up so that we can watch this show and stop beating everybody up for some shit that happened first season, second season, third season. People got to move the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta move on a little bit. Now, when this man showed up on the screen, I'll tell you what I thought, because I didn't see a lot of shit at the beginning. I really didn't. I thought that Melody and Martell were so attractive as a couple, just visually, just seeing them, how they were talking to each other, talking to the kids. They had this groove, you know what I'm saying, where they would finish each other's sentences and laugh at each other's jokes, high-fiving each other and shit. I was like, they're cute. This is what I want to see when I see Black couples on television, okay? For reality TV, they had chemistry, period. First episode of the very first season. I am very pro Black family. I'm pro family, period. But we don't see enough husband, wife, children on family or on TV. You know what I'm saying? Husband, wife, children on TV. And when we see each other or when people see us, it humanizes us. You know what I'm saying? It is much easier to attack people, to drag them, to call them the devil, to do the nastiest shit to people when you don't see them as human. So when I see Black family on TV, it is a plus for me. If that Black family is going through some shit, that's okay too, because that's also real. That's real life. That's human. And we need more moments that humanizes us, period. Oh, y'all laughing at me. Yeah, you got to do that. Okay. But this is my opinion. So I'm just sharing with y'all, trying to catch y'all up on some things. So when I saw them, I was like, they had chemistry. Their kids were cute. They were funny. Melody and Martell together were funny. I like the way they would step in for each other and have each other's back against the other couples. You know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoyed that shit. I really did. I was like, this is amazing. I just wanted to watch them. Well, I shouldn't even say I wanted to watch them, because I'm going to be honest. Kimmy, Maurice, Kiowa, Monster, Child was into that storyline too. Okay. When Maurice kissed Kimmy on the forehead to when she was like, get the fuck, we just got married. And now you telling me you about to move that heifer into one of your properties, knowing she does not like me. And I'm supposed to sit and say nothing? Child, I could not wait to see Kimmy and Maurice back on screen. They had an amazing storyline, in my opinion. I had not seen that before. I had never seen those people give what they had given us. That would be a first time ever. What's up, Layla? What did you miss? I'm just getting started, child. Listen, we're about 20 minutes in, but the first couple of minutes I had to let people have it. So in a nice way, because I know this doesn't apply to all of y'all. And I'm not even putting a name to it, just, ignorant individuals, okay? I'm not giving them any type of fan name because I really don't know who they are. But I will say this, I'm telling you my perspective. So when people are coming over saying, oh my God, do you like Kimmy? First season, Kimmy, third, I think all the way up until, whenever Kimmy was giving on this show, her emotions were real to me. I was like, that's the same shit I would do. When she was sitting there and told that cameraman, are you done? Because she wanted to punch the air, okay? Because she wanted to punch at something. And she had that cup of coffee and she couldn't get words out of her mouth because her throat was choked up with every curse word she could possibly think of. That shit was real TV to me. I loved it. I loved every moment of it, okay? Tisha and Marsau. When they first came on screen, I had, again, Black family. Their kids were cute. Marsau being the chauvinist that he is. Tisha trying to figure it out, talking about Marsau. I would really like to work outside the house. I believe that shit. I believed it. I liked it. My grandmother never worked a day outside of her home. Did she work? Absolutely. She had 11 children, and all of those children had grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And child, my grandma was every bit busy, okay? I remember watching her as a child and saying to her, as naive and ignorant as I was as a kid, I don't want to do what you do when I get older, because I just thought that was just too much. I remember saying it, and I remember her laughing at me and saying, baby, you ain't got to do what I do. Do what you do. But just that, okay? And that's the type of shit that sits in your head as an adult. Like, that was some raggedy shit to say. That was some raggedy shit to say to your grandmother. You know what I'm saying? She in here cooking food for you, and you're up here, like, why? You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know any better. And that's a thing, right? So sometimes we say shit we don't know any better, and that's okay too. But the truth of the matter is, I liked the stories that they were all giving us. Now, with all of that being said, I bought into Melody and Martell trying to repair their relationship and stay together for their children. At the time, there was 3, and Melody brought us along on this 4th child journey. Like, oh, I'm pregnant. I don't know what I should do. Should I keep it? She had the conversation with her mama. She hesitated on whether or not to tell Martell, and then she did it, right? So we knew, if we're just looking at hindsight business, even though they said they had split up and got back together for this show, we also knew that they were still sleeping together. You know what I'm saying? They had to. That's how kids are made, okay? So that we knew they were still sleeping together and those things. And when Martell said, listen, I don't want you to do that. This is my baby. We're going to work this out, Melody. Whatever the things are that he said, I don't remember them verbatim, but I was along for the ride on that little, when all of that happened, right? All of that happened, I was along for the ride. I'm just only talking about Melody and Martell right now. When Martell's mama has the conversation, when he comes over, he had hurt his leg or whatever the hell he did, his Achilles heel, he had split it. And then he came to his mama's house and she fed him. And he was like, she said, what did she call Melody? She didn't call her Melody. She called her something else, but I forgot the name. It was a nickname that she had for her, which was super cute, by the way. If y'all remember the nickname, put it in the chat. But she calls her something, and Martell said, you know, I'm hurt. I need somebody to take care of me. And she said something like, I talked to Melody, and he went, she told you to leave me, or you told her to leave me, didn't you? No, it wasn't daughter. Oh my gosh, I can't remember it. Dorothy. Thank you. She called her Dorothy, probably because she was like a little skinny thing, like Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz. But she called her Dorothy. Y'all remember Melody used to be this size, okay? She said Dorothy came by, and I was like, oh, this is all again. This is a shit that really happens in all of our Black ass lives, but we don't always get to see it on TV. This to me was Black excellence, not the, you know, I want to see the business part. It was the family part for me. But they all speak like that, right? She was saying daughter and country. Oh, is that really, that's how people say daughter? They call it Dorothy. Okay, Elle, you done taught me something, child. I've never heard that. I've never heard that. Anyway, she calls her Dorothy, and he said, did Dorothy tell you to leave me? And she said, no, I wouldn't tell her to leave you. What's up, Kevin? And then she said, and this is the shit that really, and I kid you not, to this very day, when she said, I hope you get your shit together, to Martell. His mama said, I hope you get your shit together, because ain't nobody got it like y'all. Child. That was Black excellence for me, because I was like, that is exactly how your mama, your big mama, that's when people come in and they talk to you. You know what I'm saying? They talk to you. They try to get you on track, all of that shit. He said, ain't nobody got it like y'all. And I really hope that you can fix this shit, Martell. That was so powerful to me. I was like, you can tell that she is really like for the family. Okay. Right? Are y'all with me? Come on in, everybody. 866 of y'all are here. Okay, hold on. Team Too Much said, yes, that is the way I look at it. It was just her accent that made it sound like she said Dorothy. Oh, so she said daughter, but it just sounded like Dorothy. Got it. Okay, so I thought she was calling the girl Dorothy, child. She said, ain't nobody got it like y'all. And I was hooked. I was hooked on that show from that day. She was really proud of them. Yes, because that is the shit that makes your mama proud. That is the shit that makes your mama proud. And it's probably one of the things that pains you the most, like when you lose your mom, that, you know, she might have been proud of you anyway, but when you're able to do something or do it big, you know what I'm saying? That's the first person you think about, like, oh God, I wish I could have done this for her. Okay. All right. I'm going to go back and listen to it just to make sure I heard it right. But anyway, those people were my family. That family I saw was my family. And even Kimmy, Tisha, Marsau, Maurice, that was real. That was a real depiction of Black family and all problems, not just Black folk problems, but all problems, but how it was being handled, in my opinion. The way people were talking was so genuine. I was like, oh my God, okay, I love it. I love it. Anyway, now I 1000% was rooting for Melody and Martell to get back together. 1,000,000%. I was like, I don't know what needs to happen, but everybody needs to just, you know, swarm in on this couple and make it happen. Okay. That was back in 2019. There's probably nobody on earth that wishes for that to happen right now in 2025. Probably nobody on earth. But when we were watching it, though, in 2019, the first half of the season, the second half of the season, we were like, fingers crossed, let's come on, pull it through. You stop going to the damn gym. Let Melody go to you to, go with you to play golf or wherever he said he was. Oh, I'm on my way to play golf, remember? And she showed up. She did a pop-up with Marsau and Maurice to play golf. And they were like, I thought this was a boys outing or whatever. Like, why are you here? Now, all that I know is for TV. I know it's not real shit. Like not all of it. There were some moments that was just for TV. But I think for all of us, we wanted that to be true. Now, in hindsight, child, so much has happened. It makes first season look like it was all a lie. Every damn thing that ever happened, okay? Is anybody worried about their health? Is anybody worried about their damn health? But that baby killed the marriage. Well, child, let me just say this. Let me get to the other part of this, since you want to say the baby killed the marriage. The moment that really took me out, was when Melody had left. I don't know how old Sugar Mama was, but I think she might have only been like a month or two. Melody was just like a month or two postpartum, and they were filming. And remember, Martell has the baby. She's so tiny, and his mama came over, and he had to break the news to her that him and Melody were definitely divorcing. And his mama was like crying and pounding her legs and shit and talking about, oh, you did this. You broke up my family. And I remember I actually cried like, oh, child, like you were her, and everybody has a mama or somebody in the family like this. You were I did something right, right? You were the example that I did something right. To have you as a son and to see you and Melody do it, that is what that was. And you could see her break, especially when we found out that Martell's brother was in jail and that the father was in jail. And it was like, oh, wow, that was heartbreaking for her. Hold on. Sunrise, sunset. Thank you for blessing the channel. Number one, I appreciate you so much. She said, your fans far outnumber the ignorant few, okay? You're an outstanding commentator. You make me think. She said, number one, you make me think. Number two, you look at things objectively. Number three, you respect different points of view. Thank you. I think you have one of the very best channels. Oh, I appreciate that. That is absolutely needed right now because, child, I only gave y'all a few examples, but there were people over here that was literally losing their mind. I'm going to leave that up for a second. That were literally losing their mind. And sometimes I have to pause and think like, are these people real? Because you have to look at the comment history. Sometimes there's no history. That's the only comment. So you know that they're a troll, or you know that they are. Sometimes too, they could be like other YouTubers or content creators in the sector that come over with their little fake names. I know this for a fact. I've seen it and I've heard about it. So I appreciate all of my real fans. Trust me. I know that you guys care about me and appreciate my comment. Or my commentary, but every once in a while, I just have to put it out there to let those few ignorant ones know that I see them, to take it back to their leader, whoever they may be, or if it's the leader themselves, you know what I'm saying? Just, find something better to do. Find something better to do. But at the end of the day, back to Martell and his mama. She had came over that day. Martell had said he was cooking for the kids. I think Melody had left the newborn, went to Atlanta because her and Martell had been fighting so bad that she just needed to take that break. So she left, which is a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Even though this would be baby number 4, leaving the baby with the husband, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn it, I'm gone. You can keep the baby. You can keep all the babies. I'm out. But when the mama came in and Martell was like, well, I'm about to cook this food for the kids. And Boss Baby said, nuh-uh, mama cooked before she left, to let everybody know Martell ain't cooking shit. He had to heat that food up, okay? But that was hilarious to me. It was those kind of moments. It was precious. It was priceless. Hold on, child. Y'all are saying so much. I'm going to have to let y'all talk, though. Otherwise, I'll lose track. Whew, I just didn't realize I was that far down. But it was one of those moments that was just priceless. You couldn't have paid that child to say that in that moment. And then the mama was laughing, talking about, that's right, baby, tell on your daddy, okay? But when he told her that he was breaking up and the mom breaks down and she's like kind of shaking her fist, like, I know you did it. You're just like your daddy. And Martell was like, damn, mama, you ain't gonna be on my side? No, I'm not gonna be on your side. Like, that was a real moment to me. That was a real moment, right? And I'm still crossing my fingers and saying, Lord, child, they are just too cute. Let them come back. Let them come back to the show. You know what I'm saying? Then we get the moment where Melody comes home. Melody comes home from Atlanta. Martell comes into the house. He says something to her, and I don't know how the conversation started, but Melody screams, I know you had that bitch around my kids. I know you had that bitch around my kids, okay? And I remember thinking, whew. We had already got the penis in the household and all that shit, right? Or you should have kept your penis in the household. But when she said, I know you had that bitch around your kids, that's taking it to another level. Okay, now we know something different. Who's the bitch? You know what I'm saying? It was that. But when Martell says, stop cussing. I hope you're not cussing like that around my kids. I'm going to take full custody. He threatens her right there. If you're cussing like that around my kids, I'm going to take full custody. And I remember gasping. Okay, this is when shit turned for me. Like, whoa. Where I was like, what am I watching? You know what I'm saying? And let me just say this too, before I give anybody too much. They are younger, you know what I'm saying, than me. But when I first heard it, just because of how I was raised, doesn't mean right or wrong. It was how I was raised. If a man said that to a woman in my family, if someone did not carry them out, you know what I'm saying? That would have activated the mama's like murder gene. You know what I'm saying? That's something where everybody's going to get a turn and whooping that person's ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't say stuff like that to people. You don't say that to someone who's just if a month postpartum. You don't say that, right? And so for my brain, I was just like, whoa, because I honestly, when people are like, you're trauma bonding, I wasn't trauma bonding. I was watching them like they were my family. Personally, I was watching them like they were my family. So when he said that, I was like, whoa, this is a moment where everybody's going to take a turn. And that's straight up. He wouldn't, even if he said it and nobody heard it or saw it, somebody was driving to his house later to give him a talk. You know what I'm saying? And that talk could, it'll be a rough talk because it'll be a lot of pushing and shoving like, yo, man, where are you coming from with that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, that would have never been able to go down. But when it went down, I was in such shock that it happened. I remember Melody throwing something at him. And then it went away. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't hear it again until the coffee shop. But I said all of that to say, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was in such shock and this can't be really, like, this isn't a person. And the way I had been talking to myself about who this family was, I kind of started changing the story a little bit and like protecting Melody in the story. Like, God damn, who does this? Even though there was still a lot of people wanting to see that couple back together. They were younger people younger than me, I'm sure. Probably, the age group that Melody and Martell are in. Come on in, everybody. She threw a sock. I thought she threw a pillow or something like that at him. I know she threw something at him. But anyway, when it happened, it's just one of those moments where, again, because you were so tied into their story, you were thinking about it the way the rest of, you know what I'm saying? You weren't thinking about it like, this is a motherfucker. Like, he's a dirty son of a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Angela has a comment. Let me get your comment up here, Miss Angela. Thank you for blessing the channel. She said, I swear, I wish that people would stop misusing the term trauma bonding. Just because a person relates with someone or something does not mean it makes it trauma bonding. Judas, okay, child. Listen, that's the term that's all around, right? Everybody keeps saying trauma bonding. And so I used it. Okay. If it don't apply, you got to let it fly. All right. I was watching them like they were my family, though. I really was. Like Miss Marlene, or Marlene, however it's pronounced. I was like, that's something my grandmother would have said. Ain't nobody got it like y'all. Like that's how they talk. You know what I'm saying? That's it. So I related to it in that way. Okay. Come on in, everybody, please, and thank you. I appreciate y'all for blessing the channel. Hit the like button, please, and thank you as well. And I'm doing this breakdown. It was soft. Yeah, because I think he was holding laundry, or she was holding laundry. She was holding laundry. So you may be right. I agree. But all I'm doing is giving y'all a breakdown of where I saw it. Yeah, I think people from my generation, and maybe, there's a lot of people who agree that Martell would have been, like I said, he activated the murder gene once he said that. There's no way you could, somebody would have had to come and save him, right? Like a neighbor would have been like, I think I hear screaming, call the police. It would have been one of those moves, okay? But when that happened, I remember like going, oh my God, like who would do that? And I felt so bad for Mel. Mel threw the pillow and, or whatever she threw at him. And that was the scene. You know what I'm saying? But when I since then, I have gone back and watched it. And I remember thinking, whew, why didn't she call her mama? Like, I don't know what else could have happened there, but I feel like for most Black people, most Black women would have called somebody. You got to come get this mother. Okay. Melody moving out the house, the whole thing, even that, I was like, why did she move out with all 4 of the babies? Why didn't she stay in that house, right? But I didn't even talk about it like that when I first went through, because when I went through the first time, I was so pissed at Martell. When I first saw it, I was like, you mother, we're just going to, I hated that he did that. I hated that he did it. It disgusted me to no end. And I don't know. I guess I just couldn't see him as a person after that. Like, I didn't understand the point of that. Listening to someone say, you had that bitch around my kids, and then for him to go from that to, I'm going to take custody. And like I said, Melody was just a few weeks postpartum. I thought that was some bullshit. Bump this bullshit. Dr. Mel has spoken, so nothing is left to be said. Oh, okay. Well, you can definitely lead the chat. Feel free. I'm assuming you're talking to me. But this is the point I was making when I said this earlier, that for whatever reason, people can't have a different opinion or perspective about anything. We all of a sudden just have to follow one way of thinking. I'm never going to do that. That's not who I am. That's not how I was raised. And I'm just not. I mean, the shit that I say in real life is what protects me outside of my house. So yes, I do get there's a whole lot of money into speaking something a certain way, but I just ain't doing it for anybody, period. But anyway, so I'm saying all that to say, I'm saying all of that, and I'm not even giving y'all the full reel. I'm giving you that stop up to that point, I'm taking the kids, because again, I never heard that in my days, because it was just an unspoken thing that you ain't supposed to do it. You're not supposed to do it ever. Taking children from their mother is low, 1,000,000%. Even saying it was low. And that was the first time that he said it. Okay. Now, with all of that, I'm going to just talk a little bit more, because I'm going to put a pin in that part and pick it up later. Okay. I'm going to put a pin in it and pick it up later. What I'm going to talk about now is the way Martell wanted us to think that the only person he had ever cheated with is coleslaw, was something else entirely, right? Was something else entirely. That was something that had been repeated and repeated and repeated on the TV show. When Marsau and Maurice, what Martell called teasing, when he said, hey, you still got 2 phones? That doesn't make sense to me. Your wife tells you to get rid of a phone. You know the shit that it brought to your life. Why wouldn't you just get rid of the phone? When everybody says that's teasing, I don't necessarily see it as teasing. I see it as a real in question. Now, they could have asked him that. They could have asked him, or they're joking about it, laughing about it, but that's a real question. Why do you have 2 phones? If she told you to get rid of one, that's also letting us know that he's not serious about it. But again, in that first season, because everybody wanted Melody and Martell to repair it, to fix it and get back together, it was that kind of shit where all of us, meaning I will say a lot of us in the, fans or people watching the show, we gave that a pass because we should have dragged that motherfucker, okay? Like he was a sled in snow. We should have been dragging him. But because we wanted that relationship to work, we were trying to just ease up out the pressure. Like, oh, Martell, Martell, he'll get it together. Why does Martell we're laughing about it and making light of it when the truth of the matter is he's not taking this shit seriously at all. It was very nasty. It was very dirty. But us as fans, we turned a blind eye. We turned a blind eye as fans. And for some of us, even as bloggers, right? As content creators, because we wanted Martell and Melody to work out. We wanted them to work out for our own, selfish reasons. For our own selfish reasons. Some of you are saying that the Scotts gave Martell advice. I get it, but I'm talking about what happened on TV. I'm talking about something that was happening on TV because this is how our community was built, right? This community right here on my channel. It was built because we were talking about this show and we were attacking and beating and all the shit, but we were giving Martell pass after pass after fucking pass, period. Okay. Even after certain things happened, when we saw that phone, in the same way we drag in Tisha and Marsau, we should have been dragging Martell to smithereens. Period. But we didn't. We didn't. Not at all. And when Arion showed up on the scene, we was dragging Arion like a motherfucker. But we was still saying, leave that man and that woman's relationship alone. Leave their marriage alone. Okay? Let them figure it out. Let them get it together. Martell coming in, talking to Dr. Francis, right? Talking to Dr. Francis, calling Arion a peasant. Talking to Arion on the phone. This was her first appearance. It was only her voice, though. On the show, they actually put the title up that says Arion. Martell's in the truck in his car. And then Arion says to Arion, I want a blood test. I want a blood test to make sure the baby's mine. Right? Someone said, not me. I didn't like him. Okay. I'm just saying, child. I'm telling y'all what I thought. And those of you who follow me, y'all heard me saying this shit. I was like, I really didn't even talk about Arion a lot because I was like, the girl's just dumb and it did not make sense to me, but I was trying to understand it. But the shit that Martell was doing on the show, basically trying to communicate to everybody, because when he first starts talking about cheating, he says point blank, I'm not a cheater. I'm not a cheater. When he does finally admit to cheating, it was one time, I've been doing good. I hadn't talked to her for about 6 months. And then she just called my phone. And then like a family member of Martell says, why didn't you just change your phone number? I think it was the photographer. He said, let me ask you a question. You're supposed to break it off, right? This is what the producers are doing. They're doing their job. We was the ones stuck. But the producer said, the producers have Martell have a man-to-man conversation. The guy literally says to him, let me ask you a question. Your wife told you to get rid of that phone, right? Yeah, she told me to get rid of the phone. And it didn't occur to you to get rid of, change your number. You just You just let this woman call you impromptu when you are driving. You're on a trip with the kids in the car. Yeah, I know it was stupid. I know it was stupid. Again, it was one of those things where you thought Martell was really dumb. You thought Martell was really dumb. You know what I'm saying? You're welcome, Pacino. I can't. But listen, I thought Martell was look, Clone said, and he is. Okay. Listen, you just thought, well, maybe he doesn't get it. You know how women want to blame other women for a man, like he has no control. You know what I'm saying? So you're like, if she would have just done this, that, and the other, then blah, 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 blah. But there's literally men who are coming through. And the only reason why I'm doing this shit right now again is because I need us all to catch up to where I am. When a man is sitting there, not just Marsau and Maurice, because, you know, whatever, right? But there was other men in Martell's life, his uncles, and then that friend who is a photographer of some sort, who came in and said to Martell, man, do you want to be married? These are people who had long relationships. I've been married for 30 years and I would never do the shit you done. What is wrong with you? These people were having real conversations with Martell, real conversations. And he was, you know, scratching his head and, well, Melody can just do this. And, you know, she's all angry and she's mad at me now, man. And, you know, she wants a divorce now. And we were all just like, well, just get rid of the phone. We were still screaming, get rid of the fucking phone. For the most part, okay? Melody, for all intents and purposes, had to beg people, please stop tying me to Martell. Please stop speaking over me as if we are a couple. Like she was doing that on the show to get people to stop, because that is how mesmerized at their chemistry we were. We were mesmerized by their chemistry. Come on in, people. Come on in, come on in, come on in. So with all of that, okay, it was bigger than that. What do you mean by it was bigger than that, Kim? Tell me what you mean. Because I do recall, like I talked to y'all about his mama saying it. I talked to you about the uncles telling him. I talked to you about friends other than Maurice and Marsau telling them. Then the call on the phone while he was at home. Yes, so we know that there was a call on the phone when he was at home, right? We know all about that. But I think that actually happened before, right? Before the TV show started. Because remember, Melody tells us the story. She was at home. I think she was on the phone with her mother or something like that. The other phone is calling. She picks it up. The mama, you know, hears Martell and she finds out it's Arion. The mama, I think that was the first time he got caught cheating. The mama can hear Melody screaming and she calls Marsau because she used to work at Marsau's office. So that was even before the show started, because Melody's mother wasn't working for Marsau when they started the show, I don't believe. I don't think so. But there was a lot of people who talked to him, and we were kind of all on the talk to him some more side. Talk to him some more. Talk to him some more. So all of that, I'm saying all of that to say a lot of people, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people were in the Martell Melody bubble. We were in the bubble and we didn't see all the other parts because we were just kind of like, I want to see if they're going to fix it. I want to see if they're going to work it out. Even when they did get divorced and they came back on to the show, I was like, how is this shit going to work? How are they going to heal if both of them are still on the show? And then they started doing the storyline with them trying to co-parent together and all of that. Khoisan, you're just going to have to, you know, this is one of those moments where if it don't apply, let it fly. Okay. I did say most of us, if it don't apply, let it fly. All right. I'm talking about me and the people who follow me. You've heard me have these conversations. He did a Charles with a broken leg. They were a cute couple, for sure, for sure. We were hoping that they would co-parent successfully. Yeah, even with that, we were always hoping. We were always hoping. Melody, big and pregnant, first season reunion, belly out to here. They're in the dressing room, putting their hands on top of each other. Team Holt, the whole thing. We're gonna stick it together because when it's Holt against Holt, when the Holts are together, no one can break us up. Like all of that was amazing. All of that was amazing stuff. And it sometimes, for some of us, I should say, some of us, not everybody, but some of us, most of us, we were hoping that that relationship was mended, that it would be okay, that they would work it out. Correct. I know it. We missed conversations that people were having. Like when Tisha told everybody at the table. Melody smacked the shit out of Martell for calling her out of her name. Child, I don't know why I missed that the first time. But when they were having their little reminiscence little thing, and Tisha said, I remember when Melody smacked the dog shit out of Martell. Okay? Smacked him into next week. Okay? Because he called her out of her name. And you know what Melody did? She kind of mimicked. She was like, had this big smile on her face, and she went, yep. She made it all cute. And again, we just let that shit slide. But there was all kinds of red flags in first season, first episode. There was all kinds of red flags that for us as the audience, if we weren't rooting for them, you know what I'm saying? If that was in our first episodes, we probably would have been like, Melody, take that motherfucker to divorce court already. You know what I'm saying? It didn't take her long to get there. They were only married for first season. By second season, they come back divorced. But all the same, he was a lot. Period. But people still saw him as a nice guy. A lot of people still saw him as a nice guy. So now when people kind of flip, and there's some people who are on Melody's side, I don't want, Martell is a horrible person, you know, whatever the things are, there's still a lot of people who saw that other side of Martell. And it takes a while for you to, you know, come from up under the fog. Even if people don't want to believe it is true, this is real life. It happens in real life. It takes a while for you to come from under the fog. You can see people into it and say, well, you know, that they're just in the heat of things. When it come down, they'll get better. Or, you know, that shit's happening to them. He's never done nothing to me. There's a lot of women who think that way, or say things like that. And this is real life too. You could know something horrible about a person and say, well, he ain't done that shit to me, so I don't care. I've said it before. We've all been guilty of saying it at one point or another. But people do that to make a thing right, even if it's wrong. And then Melody also had to come from up under Martell's spell. We don't want to believe that too, but that's true. Melody spent a lot of years thinking a certain way about Martell. And she actually said out loud with her own mouth, I didn't realize how bad shit was until I was not in it anymore. She said it multiple times. I thought I had the perfect marriage until I left the marriage. Like I thought it was good and I was leaving because I realized that he couldn't leave that girl alone and I wasn't going to stay in it. But the truth of the matter is I didn't know how bad it was until I came from up under that motherfucker. And even then, until this day, she has to undo a lot of shit that she made okay when she was there. Period. That's human too. We've all been there, but sometimes we attack, we beat up people, we try to make them feel bad. And some of y'all are saying that in the comments. People have been making her feel bad. True. You are right. And people continue. We do it with all of the cast. People got a process. They got a journey to walk. It is theirs. It is their God-given journey. And they got to get there on their own time, everything. If anybody would have tried to break Melody and Martell up before she was ready to leave, she would have came back again and again and again. And even now that she has separated from Martell, she still got to work on not meeting and messing with another guy that's just like Martell, because 14 long years of her life was with him. So she's conditioned to think a certain way, to do certain things. She got to undo all that shit. That can take forever. Okay? But I'm just, again, this is a whole show that we've been watching many, many years, and we put a whole lot of stuff on it. But there was all kind of shit that was happening outside of this show with Arion that never made the cut. Never made the cut, because it really shouldn't have in the first place. Let's face it. Some of the shit that girl was saying was so disgusting and awful. And she was doing it to get the attention of the show, of the fans, of Melody. She was saying things to see if what Martell had been telling her, if Melody was going to respond to it, because that's really who it was for. That really is who it was for. And Melody did the right thing by not responding to it for the most part. She was saying shit to Martell, but not to her. But for the only reason that girl ever spoke the way she spoke was because she needed to know from Melody, just like the Sheree shit, when she was like, you need to know that he was here doing this to me, because she wants to know, was he with you? Was he with you when he wasn't at home with me? Okay. Because I didn't see him on Tuesday. And typically I do. So I'm going to say all this nasty, dirty shit to see if Melody responds or somebody else responds. Come on in, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you. So I'm going to do this for a couple of days, because I can't do it all in one time, because I'm really going to give y'all a breakdown of where I am with everybody. Okay. Right now, I'm talking about Martell and how I saw him in the beginning. And for a long time, because even after they got divorced, I was like, they're going to get back together, because the chemistry was just so strong. You could tell that they loved their children, all of the things, child. And it was shocking to see some of this shit happen. Remember the first time Martell tells Big Lou that he wants custody of the kids? Remember how his eyeballs was like, remember Big Lou was like, well, you want to really think about what you're saying before you go over there and say that. He probably didn't even know that Martell had said that shit before. But he's looking like Martell. And then he goes, well, I want to see my kids every day. I'm always seeing my kids every day. He goes, well, the crazy thing about divorce is you're not going to see the kids every day. I'm sorry, but it was that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's trying to talk to this man. Y'all would be surprised at how many times Marsau had to pull Martell to the side and say, your kids are watching. This is the shit that's going to be in your kid's brain, Martell. You'll never erase it. Cut it out now. Like the times he had said that to Martell, unreal for the show. You know what I'm saying? Even though we like to make fun of Marsau not knowing that his son was allergic to peanut butter, he was one of the only ones who would say, you disgust me. The shit you do to your children makes me sick. That's the shit he would say to him. Okay? He had a lot of conversations with Chris. And listen, you guys, I'm not saying anything bad about, let me say it this way. I'm not telling anybody not to like anybody kind of thing. I'm just telling y'all where I was with the show, because I do like the show. I still like the show. I think that the show is in one of its best seasons right now. I do not work for Carlos King, but a check is a motherfucking check. And if he offered me a job, I can't say I wouldn't take it, because why? I mean, it's money. Who wouldn't want to say I had this on my list? But I don't work for anybody. I literally come on this platform and just do what I love, because it gives me an opportunity to do what I love to do, which is talk. Okay? I love talking. I love it. Ask anybody that knows me outside of this damn computer. Okay, but cut it out. If Melody's getting a check from over there, working under Carlos King, I believe that's still her boss, then get the fuck out my comments with that dumb shit, child. You ain't hurting my feelings. That woman has been getting her check for a long time. And if she decides not to be on the show anymore, she still has a credit on that show, which will still give her a check. So cut it out. That's what I mean when I say we gotta, be smarter, think smarter. Sometimes people say dumb shit to y'all, and y'all don't think outside the box that much because they know they can drive your mind wherever they want it to go, start thinking for yourself a little bit. It'll feel much better to you. And then when you get in people's comments saying crazy shit, you'll be like, huh, that's right. Melody does get a check from that show, don't she? She sure do. And everybody has told y'all that Carlos King is their boss. So please cut it out, child. But I ain't turning down no damn check. He ain't offered me one, but sir, let me know, okay? I don't know what I could do, child, but I'm gonna put my name out there since everybody wants me to have it. Shit, let's speak shit into fruition, okay? Anyway, so all of that to say, there was a lot of men, Big Lou, Marsau, Martell's uncles, Martell's friends outside of Marsau and Maurice, who really did try to talk to him about being a better man to his wife, a better man to his children, a better father to his children. There were so many people that talked to this man, and we kind of missed it. We kind of missed it and started blaming everybody else for their problems or breakups. And I don't do that on this channel. I did at one point. I was making like those kind of things. But when I get new information and I'm able to see this shit didn't happen that way, I move with the right information. It's the only way for me to go. I could stay in the past, child, but I'm not. I could, but I'm not. Okay, there are channels that do, and those are the ones you got to work with. Go where you are celebrated. You know what I'm saying? Go to where, you know, it's going to be, you know, music to your ears, because I can't go there anymore. What I do know at this point is that Martell was telling us every step of the way that he was dirty. He was. And then he would make it cute for us by saying things like, when Marsau said, what do you get out of picking up your kids from school and making them dinner and blah, 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 blah. And he said, I guess satisfaction. I like picking my kids up for dinner. Picking my kids up for school. I like taking them to dinner or making their dinner. I like being a dad. I like going to their games. Those are the things that was missing from my life when I was growing up. And there was always a man in my house. My mother had a boyfriend who was right there, and that motherfucker was lousy. So I do these things for my kids and the memories that my kids are gonna keep. And those kind of moments made you think he's a good guy. And I'm not saying there's not some things that's redeemable about him, but I'm saying it was the things that we all was like, oh, you know, if he does this, then he can definitely get back on track and be the person he needs to be. Come on in, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But he is no different. What we are seeing on TV right now with a lot of those people is no different from where we all were. And all we do is watch TV a couple of, 45 minutes out of an hour on a Saturday, right? When the season is on at that. But some of these people, they have been around them much longer. They've spent a lot of time with him. Martell buys favor from people. I remember Kimmy saying, Martell is a good guy, right? Like, he is a good guy. I remember him driving down the street, at whatever street she lives on. She was taking groceries out of her car, and she said he turned around, pulled up in her driveway, and took the groceries in for her. I remember how she was like talking about that was such a good, that's a good guy move. It is, but he also does a lot of dumb shit, a lot of nasty stuff. And he is right now telling us how nasty he actually is. Okay? He is telling us how nasty he is. He used to tell us that Arion was the only woman he's ever cheated with. Everybody else, all the other guys, been with 20 women, 30 women, 40 women, right? That was the badge that he wore against the others. Now he's telling us that he was with a whole bunch of women too. In fact, he led the pack. He went first. Now he's wearing that shit as a badge of honor. I helped Marsau get women. He was too fat and too ugly. That's a quote from Martell. Martell said Marsau was too fat, too ugly. And I'm not gonna lie. Hell, I think Marsau said that about his brother Maurice. He said, listen, he used to be 300 pounds. Now he done lost weight, got a goatee. I don't know who this motherfucker is anymore. Okay? I don't know who he is anymore. Martell used to make us believe that he was naive and he just got caught up with this one person. That was his storyline. I was naive. I got caught up. I didn't know. Maurice and Marsau are the reason I stepped out of my marriage. And now it sounds like he's saying he was the ringleader. He was the ringleader. And he had his big toe, his hook and a curve and everything all over Huntsville. It wasn't just one. He's in an open relationship now with Arion. For sure, she all but said that over there on the audios on Anthony Lofty's channel. He actually asked her, "Are you in a relationship?" What's Martell going to say? She said, "We're not in a relationship. I'm at my house. He's at his house. We just co-parent." And then in the very next breath, she's talking about how Martell was taking up for her and fighting for her. Martell was not fighting for her. You know what Martell was fighting for? After all of this shit has come out, I have figured this all out. This entire fight between Marsau and Martell started because Marsau said, "I don't respect you for the revenge piece stuff. I don't respect you." Then Destiny was bringing Marsau and Martell together so that Martell can tell whatever this is, and Marsau can give him an apology. And he said, Destiny said, "You think he deserves an apology now? You want to apologize?" And he said, "No, I'm not apologizing to him for that," because he already knows. He saw the tape, right? Everybody keeps saying that. I'm not apologizing for that shit. I know he showed it to me. I know he showed it to everybody else fucking too. So I'm not apologizing. And that is what Martell jumped bad about. That was it. That was it. He started with that. I'm not sure. I know that they did have conversations about Arion, and Marsau said some shit about Martell liking boys or whatever. But the truth of the matter was that was the jump off. That was the jump off because Martell thought everybody thinks of me as this creep, and they think Marsau is the good guy. And now I have to prove to y'all that Marsau is also a creep. That Marsau is, he's cheated on his wife too. It was not about cheating. It was about the revenge piece, sir. That's what started that shit. It just spiraled into some other things. That's it. That was what it was. I'm reading some of these comments. I'm sorry. And he made the shareable side chick comment. He did say it. He told him, "Listen, I didn't leave my marriage. I did not blow up my marriage, child, for a shareable side chick." She's shareable. It is what it is. It is what it is. But Martell is now telling on himself from going from I only ever slept with Arion. He's told this story on platforms, speaking platforms. Melody told me, because I wanted, for her to, show me some interest and to do this with me. And she told me to go out and get a girlfriend. So I took her. It hurts my heart to even try to speak the words, child. But he didn't said that so many times that Melody told him to go get a girlfriend. And so he did go get a girlfriend. Like that was really a thing. And even though we all knew that he was dumb, we just kept saying, Jesus Christ, Martell is dumb and right? Oh, thank God Melody left that man because he was dumb. People kept saying, Melody clearly was all the brains. Melody did all this, that, because Martell was so slow. Now Martell is letting us know. Martell has spread his peen all over Huntsville, probably into Louisiana, maybe Tennessee, child, all of the surrounding states, child. He didn't let us know. He's nasty. Okay, he got that nasty man's disease. He got that nasty man's disease, allegedly. But he has told on himself in a way that he has never, ever, 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 ever done before. He's never said that before. He always wanted us to think of him as a good guy. He always wanted us to think that he just got caught up. He just got caught up. Even him begging Melody to take him back. Take me back, child. Even to this day. Okay? Yes, Aldolph. Aldolph from Color Purple, baby. Got that nasty woman disease. Yes, Martell got that nasty man's disease for sure. Okay? Is anybody worried about their health? Jesus. But yeah, we have to, we're operating from this space because at this point, they are in an open relationship. That's what it sounds like, because she's not claiming him. She's not claiming him. He's not claiming her. Even though she talks about him like he belongs to her, she does not claim him. She wasn't in any way over there on, she said that they're single and they just co-parent, and then they bump nasties, I guess. Gross. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? When he says that he's not with her, he really means it. He's not with her. He's not with her, and she's not going to be his wife. He said that so many times. We're all over here shocked, like, well, damn, we know y'all together. Well, she said they're not together either. They live in separate places. She says she's not allowed to spend the night. She speaks in third person. Arion ain't allowed to spend the night, so I'm not going over there at 7 in the morning to make them breakfast. Unfucking real. It's all craziness. He's leaning into his villain role. Okay, child. The villain role doesn't require all of that, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of this he should keep close to his heart. Right now, he has spread so much information that makes him look nastier than ever before. Anything that you thought about Martell in first season, he completely crushed over the last couple of weeks. And this is all off screen. Like, for the most part, like, he started it on screen, but for the most part off screen, but he is saying everything. He is definitely in his villain role. A nasty narc. But it's something. It's something. So it takes a while for people to unhook their brains from stuff. But I have unhooked mine. So when I'm on this channel, I'm not talking about Martell like he's a leading man. He may be because of the dumb shit that he's doing on the show. But I do think that he's exposed himself enough to say that he was never, ever faithful in that relationship. Bringing that girl on, the mistress of Marsau, and when she was like, well, I can say that he was faithful to both you and his wife, that shit she said to Coleslaw. Lies, when we all knew that that wasn't true anyway. The story that Martell wanted people to believe about him being in Vegas with everybody else hoeing, but he wasn't hoeing and he likes to go first. Lies. None of that shit can be true. Not one bit of it. Not one bit of it. None of it. Okay? Child, anyway. I can put this into the, I'm gonna do this in pieces, because we're gonna break everybody's story down from where they were at the beginning to where they are now. Because we bring some of this shit back up. And I know that I'm speaking from a different place than some of the other YouTubers, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, child. I think we all are good content creators with good stuff, with good stories to tell. I'm just telling a different story than some of the others, and that's okay. If you do want to come up and share a thought or two, because I know this shit was rocking over here. These comment section is rocking. You definitely can. But yeah, where I'm from right now is that I think that relationship was always abusive. That's what I'm going to say. I think that he was always hoeing. Period. I think that he liked the idea of people thinking of him as a nice guy, because that's a part of that narc personality, They want you to see them as the nice guy, as the savior. I think that they're compulsive liars, period. I do believe that he is insanely emotional when he wants you to believe something about him, to the point of where he threatens probably to harm himself. He might likes to make threats, and this is what I'm going to do, and if you leave me, I can't, and blah 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 blah. I think he said it to Melody. I think he says it in his friendships. Tisha, Melody, and Marsau, the three of them sitting there and taking notes about what type of liar Martell was diabolical. That was a crazy moment, okay? But it was good. It was great TV. It lets us know where people are. Like I said, I love it. I still like it. We don't see this all the time. We have seen it with some of the white shows, I will say, but we haven't seen it here. Perfect image, but crappy character. Crappy character for sure. For sure. It's a lot, y'all. Oh, thank you, Kim. Listen, Kim, I'm going to be honest with you. My best friend for 30 plus years was married to a narcissist who had a lot of power, a lot of money, a lot of connections, a lot of, I mean, he could turn your life around the next day. Very, very charismatic. Everybody wanted to be his friend. There is not, I mean, when I look at Martell, he kind of reminds me of that kind of person, especially when Marsau was like, he was on top of the world and lost everything. But yes, and I was close enough to that family where if they would fight or something, they would call me. My friend would call me, be like, this is what's happening. And sometimes she'd be like, can you talk to him for me? And then I somehow got in the middle of that fucking situation. And I was just like, oof, you know what I'm saying? It was bad. It was bad. And I actually was trying to protect her story and not talk about it. But you know what? That was my experience too. So I'm going to talk about it as well. Let me bring up Lady D Keys. Hey, girl.
Hey Diana, how are you?
Good. How are you, honey bun?
I'm good. Ooh,
What?
child. Uh, I had to come back from your the rat, but that was a good one, girl. You had to get them together, honey. I don't blame you, cause at the end of the day, don't play with her. Don't
Don't
play with her,
exactly. I know I sound nice on this panel, but trust me, leave me alone. Okay,
please.
take that back to whoever you need
Look,
to take back
the
to.
block button, the block button is hot. You get blocked.
I'm telling you. So, what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on this from
Ooh,
first glance? When you saw Martell, you thought he was the perfect gentleman, the perfect father. He just happened to have gotten caught up with this girl, and she was the one who didn't know how to leave his ass alone.
well, I think they both didn't know how to leave each other alone. It wasn't just him not leaving her alone. It's her not leaving him alone, knowing that he is a married man.
Hmm.
So they both got caught up and acting ignorant and all this stuff. But I don't think none of them guys is good guys on the show. But they just haven't got caught up in their mess yet.
Well,
Because whoever
go ahead.
because whoever they messing with, they got common sense and they older. So they know better.
Well, I'll say this at this point. Um, so this is a good comment. Thank you for this, Miss Tay T. You know that Marsau and the other guys knew Colesaw first. Also, Mel said that Martell didn't start cheating until he started hanging with the Scotts. How do we know? How does she really know that? That is why I'm saying to y'all, Martell is so cocky right now about what he was doing, when he was doing it, how. Melody said there was multiple women. There was more than Coleslaw. But you know what Coleslaw
Mhm.
used to say? I got his nose wide open, right? Looking like one of the pig people from the Twilight Zone. I got his nose wide open. He said there was more women, but it was just me. I'm telling you, just for based on this mofo bragging right now, it was not the only one. Martell prides himself
Mm-mm.
on being able to do his dirt and come home at night. That's the
Mhm.
badge of honor he wears. Basically saying Melody didn't know. I did whatever. I came home at night. The truth of the matter is, he was always out there from day one. He was probably always out there. Did he
Right.
caught up with Arion? Yes, because she
Mhm.
would leave him alone, and he thought that she was a dumb enough little girl that she didn't know how to ask for money or any of the other stuff that the other ladies was probably asking him for in their one night adventures. Okay,
Mhm.
Martell is a ho ho. He's a ho
Yeah.
now. As
But,
a Martell
but
had a woman. Go ahead.
yeah, um, the thing about it is he wasn't smart enough to wrap it up.
Not the first time, not the second time,
Not the second
or the
time, not
third
the
time.
third, not the fourth, not the fifth. It's like, are you that crazy? And she messing with you. She probably messing with somebody else also.
Okay.
So you gotta protect yourself and you protect your wife because you did have one. And I thought they were a beautiful couple. I thought they were gonna make it. I was rooting for them. I really was. But at the end of the day, you can't root for somebody that don't know how to keep himself at home. I'm gonna say
Melody
it the
said
clean
that
way.
there was more than one person. Ariane got a kick out of saying she was the only one. She thought that she had the lock on Martell. So we know that for sure. We know that for sure. He was out there
Yeah.
before they got married. Okay. Um, but yeah, y'all, this is interesting. So I'm gonna give y'all these breakdowns. I want to give y'all a breakdown. I'm gonna see if I can come back on a little later this evening. But then during COVID, right?
Right. Are you gonna do a review for Potomac? Not Potomac, but American Medicine?
What do you want to talk about with Married to Medicine? Let's do Married to Medicine. I'm gonna put up a notification for that, and when I get off of this one, okay, I'll make it separate. Let's talk about it. We're gonna take this slow because I know that y'all have to take it one step at a time, child. So we're gonna take it slow. We're gonna take it slow, one step at a time. Try not to get your in your fifis yet. Don't crash out yet. Woot woot. Okay. Um, what I don't remember how they were was 23 and 26. That those were the ages for them when they got married. Oh, we have Hannah Grace. Hold on, y'all. What's up, Hannah? I can't hear you. You're on mute.
She might unmute.
You're on mute, Hannah. Okay. We'll let her get that right. But anyway, we're going to slow walk this. I don't mind talking about it because I foolishly was thinking that everybody was listening to me. I'm not blaming anybody for nothing. I'm not saying that that woman shouldn't have fought for her relationship. She was married. That's her marriage. Those babies were her babies. She had every right to fight for her home, her family, anything in it. She had a right to fight for it. You are married until you are divorced, right? That's what everybody says.
Mhm.
That's what Kiowa says. That's one of my favorite comments by Kiowa. We weren't wholly divorced yet, meaning I was trying to save this marriage, whether you thought he didn't want it or not. So
And
you
so
don't
Kimmy,
get
you
to
was the side
decide
chick,
that for
honey.
me. Right. She's telling her, you don't get to decide that for me. You should have waited. And Kimmy was like, we never dated until, girl, you know how that works. Hannah, are you on mic yet?
Yes. Hey, how's it going, Diana? And I
Hi.
can't remember who's up there as your guest and
It's
panelist.
Lady D. Lady
Hey,
D.
Lady D, how you doing?
I'm
Yes,
good. How are you?
and that's I'm just gonna start off briefly with that. That's one of the reasons I cannot with Kimmy. She tried to make Kiowa look like she was lying. And then in a I can't remember what season it was. She finally admitted that they were not divorced. But she tried to make it look like at first, oh, they were fully divorced, and then she even told the reason why she lied in one of the episodes. So that's why I can't with Kimmy. But Diana, I wanted to ask you, you said that Martell has made himself look, I can't remember what word you used, but it was like he's not redeemable the last couple of weeks because of what he did with Marsau. Is that what you were saying?
I said that in the beginning, Martell fed us a story. Hold on one second. I have two ladies coming up, and I'm going to ask that everyone put on their what do you call it?
Mute.
Yeah, put on your mute just to make sure that we don't have any feedback. I'm going to talk to Hannah first, and then I'll go to Val and then Darnett. Okay, but everybody put on your mute first. But I said that in the beginning, Martell was selling the story that he was the naive guy who got caught up, that all he wanted was to have a little rump in the hay with Melody, and she was the one who kicked him out the door and told him, find you a girlfriend because I'm tired, I'm whatever. And there was a certain thing that men need to do, that women need to do for their man. And what we have since learned is that's not Martell's personality at all. At all. He has always been a whore from the day he met her. And this whole idea of if she wouldn't have pushed me out the house, I would have never gotten caught up is bullshit. That's what I think.
Okay. So
if he was in love with that girl, or if he wanted us to think that, they would be together right now. And they never were, even after he left the house. And until this day, it looks like he is still asking for his marriage back. So I think that he is just he's just nasty is what I really think. I think he's nasty, and I think that he nobody taught him how to cheat. I don't think that anybody, because from what it sounds like, he's very equipped and skilled. I don't think anybody taught him anything. I think he was the ringleader, and I think that's how he told it multiple times with the crew that he was hanging with. He was the person who went first, and then he let the others have his sloppy seconds and thirds. But he called himself that, and that's not something to be proud of at 43 years old with 5 kids. That's a dumb thing to say. You don't speak about that with pride, in my opinion, not on TV. So
you were not saying that we just found out how he is and look at him real bad because
no, I'm saying that for the most part, people believed he was a good guy
at first, but over the
first, second, and third, it took a long time for people to pull back on the Martell's a good guy narrative.
Okay, now
it took a long time for the fans. The fans used to beg for Melody and Martell to get back together. They told it on everything. People would be on airplanes talking to Carlos King, like, what can you do? Talking to Martell. They said wherever they went, that would happen. Melody used to beg people. I used to be on the lives where she would say, stop that. Stop asking me to go back into a place that was really painful for me. People could not unhook them as a couple. And that's why I laugh when I see people attack and beat up everybody else on the set. Everybody had that same problem. People were unable to unattach the two of them.
So just let me say, I totally agree with you at first. But when he decided to take her to court for her children, now I will agree, when they went to Destin, people had a little hope. But as soon as Arion Curry got her butt on there and started running her mouth, and then we found out that he went and ran his mouth about Melody and her medical problem, a lot of people knew right then and there, this man is no good. And we don't want them together. I agree with that. At first, yes, we had hope. Yes,
that would have been what it would have, I think, like 5th or 6th season for us. But either way, that's a long time. That's a long time. I'm saying to all of us that we got to kind of pull back just a little bit on some of these hate trains that we're on, because the very audience that's doing all the kicking and pushing right now is the very audience that was begging Destiny and Melody to rekindle their friendship. It took a long time for people to figure out they weren't going to be friends again. They had to hold a funeral for their friendship on TV. I remember bringing them back together. Melody didn't want to do that shit. They had to make a whole thing to make this okay for the audience because we didn't have closure. But they used to flip. Well, mostly Destiny. She used to flip. But Melody just be like, nope, not doing it. But we have to understand that what is going on with Martell took years to build. And it
Okay.
does not
I see.
dissolve overnight. You have to untie yourself from that shit.
Yeah.
You have to
I
untie yourself in all relationships, friendships, and romantic relationships.
absolutely. And just one more thing that I wanted to say. But once we did find out about what he is and who he is, it's going to take a whole lot for him to come back from what he's done to not only Melody, and now we see him doing it to the Scots as well. So he needs to get himself together. That's all I say. Thank you for letting me come up and join.
1000%. I appreciate you, her girl. And y'all know Hannah has a channel, so make sure you follow her, please. Okay. Thank you. All right, Miss Val. I think this is your first time up, Val.
Yes, it's my first time up. I just want to say, first of all, you are one beautiful young lady.
Oh,
Um, and I say young lady because I am 60, so I look at it young lady, but you are a beautiful young lady. I
thank,
love how you give your opinion on stuff and you allow people to have their opinion, but that's their opinion and you have your opinion. So I love your channel. I
thank,
want to say that first of all.
thank.
Uh, Second of all, Martell is just a typical whore. Okay, Melody is a Scorpio. They met in their young days when she was a freak and he was a freak and he was getting down, doing his thing. But it doesn't matter what any woman does to him, he's still going to cheat on them because that's his mentality. Okay, so women have to understand. I got married the first time when I was 17. When I turned 18 years old, my husband was 4 years older than me, and he cheated on me, and I stayed, and because I thought it was me. You know what I'm saying? So her starting off at a
Everybody.
young age, you wonder, is it you? Why they cheating? Why they cheating? What did I do? I'm not having sex enough. Da, da, da. So yes, I rooted for Melody too at first to stay together for the family, but after I seen that his mentality was he's going to continue to do what he wants to do when he wants to do it, it's over and done with. Just pray for her to just move on and just be happy. You know what I'm saying? People don't like Melody's arrogance about herself now because she's arrogant because she's really she tried to play happy, but she really still hurt. I
Oh,
mean, let's just be honest. She's still hurt.
okay.
Okay.
I think
But
there is a lot that she has to still unravel.
that's correct. That's the same way I feel. I mean, I'm saying that this is not something that you're gonna get over overnight, and she
Mhm.
still have children to look after and still have to deal with him in some type of manner. But for the other chick to just keep throwing it in her face, and for it's his problem because he allowed the other chick to keep taunting her. That's where the problem relies. He had no control over the side chick. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? So I think that all of them cheat. I
Okay.
mean, Marsau too. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. Wanda was spreading that Marsau was cheating, but I'm not gonna say who said it. But whatever. But I'm just saying, I think all of them cheat. I think Marsau. I think the Scots they cheated, but they was a hit it and quit it. That's the reason why they don't their pop ups not popping up because of the simple fact is the women saying, "Oh man, he just hit it and he left me," so they don't want to look bad for themselves, so they're not saying anything. But they was a hit it and quit it. Martell's problem was he's a returner. He hit it and quit it, but he never know how to quit it. He kept returning, and that's how he got exposed.
Okay. All right, Miss Val. Thank you.
You're so welcome. You have a blessed day.
You too. So I had a comment up. I had a comment up because whoever said Mel's a freak. I did that because who is it? Nell Fletcher said that when they were at the wedding dress shop. When they're at the boutique and Nell Fletcher said she's gonna have strippers and stuff. Melody said, I'm gonna need that cross and I'm gonna do blah blah blah. She said, oh Mel, you know you a freak. So that's why I had that comment up, by the way, just in case people were curious. Okay, we just heard from Val. Thank you so much. I am gonna move to the next and I'm gonna get you guys all wrapped up. Darnett, you are next. How are you? Welcome to the platform.
Hi, I want to agree with the first lady. You are a beautiful young woman,
Oh, thank you. I
and
appreciate
you
that.
do allow the audience to have their opinion compared to what you might be preaching for today. And I had suffered from what Mel suffered. I had a ex. He broke my jaw, broke all my teeth out. I was in the hospital for a month.
I'm sorry. Sorry for that.
Laying in the coma when I came to, he never visited once. And they later diagnosed him with NPD. And I looked it up and found out what it means. And Martell fits all of it. Grandiose, thinking that he's more beautiful, grander, and he has more success than anybody else, and sensitive to any letdown or put down or criticism. They
Mm-hmm.
go off and they become violent.
Mm-hmm.
I pray for Mel and her family going forward with that.
Oh, I do too. I do too. I appreciate you coming up. I appreciate this being your first time. Thank you.
Or Slowrilla, how can you say you the only one he cheated on and they brought on the show? Trish was there at the time you first started messing with Martell during COVID.
Right, right. Oh my gosh. Okay, I want to make sure I get everybody to come through. So thank you, Miss Darnett.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Come back, okay?
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, I think your name is Latifa. What's up, Latifa?
Hey, Diana, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. I don't think that Mel is still hurt over that relationship. Mel has moved on, right?
Okay.
She's thriving.
I
I
don't
think
I don't mean
she,
hurt as in she's not over it. I meant unravel as in when you spend a lot of time with someone in that type of environment, you still have a lot to heal, like to fix because you think a certain way, you do things a certain way.
but she doing the work. I think Mel is still in therapy. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as her faith is concerned, that's helping her along as well. But
Mm-hmm.
just to hone in on Martell, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Martell been doing this since high school.
Mm-hmm.
He same tricks, different people. He been doing this since high school. And then Slarion and that interview they did, they gave me we strippers in the strip club, we do private parties and we'll do some strange things for change.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that's where I believe we're going with all of this. Martell just got caught up,
Okay.
right? I
He
don't think
did.
he's a good guy though. No. Do every man have some like gentleman type features? Yeah, it's in them. They're taught that as little boys, but overall, you're not a good guy. You did not honor your vows, period, point blank. And even when you were given that chance to correct yourself, you just didn't. For whatever reason, you didn't. And I partially feel like he felt emasculated. No one really talks about that, but Mel had him in check. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm,
And I think he felt emasculated. Whereas, and remember, they said, I think it was Marsau who said, when he's with Slarion, he's a totally different guy,
mm-hmm.
totally different person. It's just like so much to unpack with him. But I really feel like if he would have felt like he could lead more, in which I know why she didn't because he made dumb decisions, right?
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't trust him to 100% lead. She had to step in to make sure her and her kids were good, right? I'm sure she would have preferred to be able to live a soft life.
Listen, we gonna get to Melody too, because I want to talk about her walking away from that multi-million-dollar deal. So we gonna get to it. But
Right.
I'm saving it for my next video. But
Right,
yeah.
but so and there's so much to unpack. And then earlier, someone was speaking about they were joking about when they were trying to warn them. No matter how the warning came, they gave him the warning, and I think because they were on TV,
They
right?
were making
They
light of
were right. They were trying to make light of it, but he knew they was dead serious, and they were trying to tell him, right?
he was
Like
being
as far.
warned like from everything. Every time Martell walked into a scene, it was like a siren going off.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was trying to tell him something. I was
Yep.
like, oh my God, how did I miss this shit? But yes.
And it's like He was stupid. And then to get mad at Marsau because he spoke on the shareable side chick, Marsau know from experience. They all done passed that girl around. And they kept telling her that ain't the move.
That ain't the move. You
They
right.
kept telling him that. She done been with everybody. That's what they were saying in so many words. And then, like as far as Marsau and Tisha, I always liked Marsau for the show. I just wanted them to get rid of Tisha and her mama.
Listen, I think that someone said Mel expected more of him. She tried to. She probably asked things of him that he had not been asked before, right? Like,
Right.
let's meet these goals. Like when they had that trip in Destin, if this was accurate, and they had this conversation where he was like, "You had our entire life planned out. You had our kids' life planned out. You knew what we was going to do in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years." Do you know what type of person do you understand the blessing that comes with someone who has that kind of drive and you can fit into that? It's
Right.
a blessing. It is very hard. I mean, people say it all the time. You just got to have discipline. If discipline was easy, we'd all do it. Okay,
Right.
it's not true. People have a hard time being disciplined, and
Very much
if you have
so.
a partner who is disciplined, and you have no idea the motivation that is to get up and just fall into the plan and do what you're supposed to do. That is life, and sometimes
Hmm.
it might be a situation where Melody, something happened and she couldn't do it. To have it all written out and all you had to do was follow the plan is all you had to do. But you know what I'm saying? I'm talking to
Yep.
your head, but you understand what I'm saying.
I absolutely understand it. Then this was another thing I thought about. Like for all the women that try to judge males so harshly, right?
Mm-hmm.
These women out here giving men 100 million chances, and they ain't even married. But and that just shows the state of our community. And if you can play house, they wasn't playing house. They were living life. They were married.
Mm-hmm.
And she's supposed to try to make it work, especially if you honor the vows. What are the vows?
Correct.
She
Well,
was supposed to try to make it work.
she was supposed to try to make it work. I mean, listen, she was supposed to get there when she got there. That's all I can say. I'm not gonna. You shouldn't be trying to tear people down or break people up. Let them get there when they get there. That is the point of it. Okay.
Mhm.
They'll figure it out, but they got to walk the journey. Otherwise, they're going to keep repeating it. And that happens with all of us, Okay. So,
There's some people in the chat right now, I bet you, waiting on their prison bay to get out.
right,
You
right.
know what I'm Because
Absolutely.
no one is perfect. If you don't, man,
You're
and
right. No
then
one is perfect.
my last and final thing.
Mm-hmm.
For those who say they don't like Melody because she knew, right? She knew,
Mm-hmm.
and that they felt like her leaving was calculated. Isn't that what we tell women to do when they are trying to leave a messed up situation? Try to get your money and stuff together where you can move around.
Mm-hmm. You're right. That's
So you can't have it both ways. That's why some of these fans, they just unrealistic to
you're not
real life
lying.
as it applies to what's supposed to be a reality show. You get what I'm saying?
I do. I think it's okay for us to talk about it. There's nothing, it's okay for us to have a favorite and we can cuss about what we don't like. I think those are all okay things. But I think we also have to just be a little more mindful about, like maybe jumping into people's comments and attacking them and stuff like
But yeah, I don't be doing that. I don't got time. I'm not even gonna call a business. You get what I'm saying? I be here for the chat room
that.
shenanigans.
Don't do that kind of stuff because that gets
Right.
a little messy, especially if we don't know all the things. And we don't always know all the things. Okay. Hold on. Do you remember Martell and his mother having a convo and she telling him that he didn't need counseling because he was fine. I also blame her for his actions. She's fed into his ego. Well, I do remember that, Gloria, but I also remember when Martell sat down with his therapist, that same therapist that him and Melody are assigned to, and he
Hmm.
tried to say something like, well, my mama, blah, 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 blah. And he
Yeah.
blamed the mama, and the therapist said, no, no, no. And I think it might have even happened with Dr. Francis when he tried to blame his daddy. Well, my daddy ain't here, so I don't know how he went. No, no, no. That's not how this shit works anymore. You're grown.
Right.
You're grown, so you know all the things, and you know that you're unhealthy. And if you wanted to be healthy, if you want to be healthy, this is a first start. But we're not going to blame the daddy. We're not going to blame the mama. We're going to start with you, because you're the one making all these badass decisions. And I also know that you know better. So we gotta keep that in mind, because we sometimes will push stuff off on the other people too. This is Martell's journey. Martell knows what's going on. He's not dumb. That's really what I wanted to point out. He's not dumb. He is sneaky enough to know how to sneak. Okay. He
Right.
does nasty shit. That's it.
And then with Marlene, I just felt like he got to her. Remember that conversation with Kimmy and Latifah when they were saying how basically Kimmy supposed to have this blind loyalty to Latifah.
To
I
Tisha,
yeah. I think that's what happened with Marlene, because Marlene was in the beginning, Marlene always told him about himself. And then it was just a real drastic flip flop. And I'ma just support my son.
let me tell you what happened. Martell had to pay Marlene's bills. And he basically said that in the therapist's office. I pay all of her bills. Why can't she just watch the kids? When I asked her, why can't she do what I tell her to do? And then I forgot what the therapist called it, but I think she said something like, you guys have a transactional relationship. You have a transactional relationship. So
Okay.
that's what he expects. That's his problem with Marsau and Tisha right now. I gave you guys your start, and this is how you're repaying me. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be here. And this is a transaction, and that's exactly why he is bulldozing his way and trying to break everything up. Because when he says something or when he done something for you, he expects forever loyalty. And they're saying to them, Marsau said, I gave that Negro money. I helped him up with this. We've been trying to talk to him and have his back for a long time. He doesn't get it. And I
Yep.
don't owe him my marriage, and I don't owe him my life. And that's the smartest shit he could have ever said. If you want to take me down, pull out everything you got, because I am not going to let you hold that over my head right now. Okay. I'm actually in agreement with Marcel. I see what Martell is doing. It is a
Mhm.
transactional relationship. And he's going to do the same shit to Destiny too. But I'm going too far ahead. Let's talk to Retired Radio. How are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
You
I,
are so beautiful, eloquent, and I just love your style, especially all those hats that you wear. You're just gorgeous.
I appreciate you. Welcome. This is your first time up.
Yes, in a long time. I have come up once before
Before. Okay.
when you were talking about Martell, and here I am again.
Welcome and do your thing.
In my opinion, Martell has to be the most stupid person to air out all his dirty laundry on national television. Some things you only take to God, ask for forgiveness, and move on. But this is a move in efforts to bring Marsau down. And the only difference between he and Marsau is that Martell let the women taunt his wife, his ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
And Marsau kept his side pieces in check. And they both are creeps. They're both the dirty. But guess what? Marsau is right. I can do it better than you. I can cheat better than you. That's what it is. And so Tisha is on board, but she's looking silly. And she's looking like, hey, she's going to do what he tells her to do. And Melanie was more stronger after Melanie got over it. Like you said, it took her some time. And she knew when it was time for her to go, God said go, she left. But
right. It's a journey. And when
it's
they're
a journey.
ready, they will leave if that's what they want to do. I think that's okay.
That's right.
You
And
can't
so
force people to leave before they're supposed to.
that's right. And so I have been in Melanie's position in my first marriage. And guess what? I had to leave when I was ready, when I had my master's degree, when I was ready to be to the next step in my career. And so, hey, you do what you have to do to survive. All
Mm-hmm.
right. And I just want to say I love your show and just keep doing what you're doing. And I want to say one more thing about this DNA and Arion. I
Mm-hmm.
just believe that all those ADs were not from Martell. Now that we think about it,
Okay. Okay, girl. I hear you.
because he was doing everything and she was doing everything. It's come to light.
Allegedly, but
Allegedly, in my
allegedly
opinion.
he was. He's
Yeah.
good at that.
So,
But yes, I hear you. That's right.
yes.
All right. Well, thank you, Retired Radio. I appreciate you coming up too. Okay.
Yes.
But y'all, we are gonna wrap this up now. But we are coming back, okay? Because this is gonna be my series. We're gonna get this shit out until we get everything out and back on track. I believe if they start filming next week, thank you, Lady D Keys.
All right, you're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye. I also want to say thank you to Jarnett for sharing your story. I appreciate you so much. I know that that's, can be hard to share, but anybody who's listening, I know that it helped them. So thank you so much. Okay. Now, what was I going to say? What else? We're just going to get through this series because I really do want to just catch everybody up to where I am with everything. We're going to talk about the reunion. We're talking about everything, baby. It's all things. We're going to talk about all things. Okay. The reunion, I think they got up to episode 13. So if they go 15 episodes, then we got 3 episodes left. That's what I think. But outside of that, you guys, thank y'all for hanging out with me today. What else? Thank you to all of my moderators. You guys are always awesome. Thank you to the ladies that blessed the panel, that blessed my channel, I should say. Thank you for that. I appreciate y'all. Everybody in the chat, everybody in the bushes, everybody's welcome. Thank y'all all for helping me get this out. Okay. And yeah, that's it. I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye-bye.